fraudster and cheat, known for inciting violent mobs. She's lived the American dream while he's been America's nightmare. So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You gonna learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter, y'all about to find out.
Hold on to your seats, folks, because Jasmine Crockett just exposed Donald and Melania Trump live on TV, and it is nothing short of a masterclass in savage comebacks. In a moment of pure, unfiltered brilliance, Jasmine revealed the Trumps like never before, leaving them red-faced and speechless. You will not believe what she said. Get ready for an epic roast, because Jasmine is coming for them, and this is the ultimate expose you do not want to miss.
I want you to know that the crisis is here.
That's right.
I want you to know that the power belongs to the people, though, y'all. Do not feel powerless. In this moment, as the vice president said as she conceded the election, she said, dark times may be ahead of us, but she said it's only in the darkness that we can see the stars. I am telling you right now that the stars are right here. It is time for us to shine. It is time for us to be heard. It is time for us to make sure that they know we will not.
Jasmine Crockett was not holding back, and let's be honest, when does she ever? But this time, she took things to a whole new level, dragging Donald Trump so hard that even his hairpiece probably tried to make a run for it.
Very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists. And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet for whatever reason, they sit and they serve at the pleasure of the president. They are the ones that were there on January 6th, tearing our democracy down physically. And now we have them tearing us down.
It is quite simple. We currently have a white supremacist sitting in the White House, supported by others who share the same ideology. If you truly want to know who the real criminals in this country are, just look it up. You do not have to take my word for it. The individuals responsible for 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet, for some reason, they continue to hold positions of power, serving at the president's pleasure. These are the same people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th, physically attacking our democracy, and now they are tearing us down in other ways.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up, because I'm ready to...
It all began when the former president, also known as America's most exhausting grandpa, decided to play the victim once again. As usual, Trump was on TV complaining about how unfair the world is, how he is the real victim, and how everyone is out to get him. It is the same sob story he has been repeating since he lost the election. At this point, he sounds like a broken record at a conspiracy theorist yard sale, scratched, off-tune, and only useful as background noise.
And just imagine, we've got to go through this for a total of 4 years. I think that today will probably mean more to my district than my last swearing in, because we are definitely living in scarier times. And so I am so elated and grateful, number one, to have another opportunity to serve, but more importantly, to be able to share in my swearing in for a second term with the people that send me to DC. And again, the only people that can fire me, regardless of how many other people around the country want me to be fired. I want my district to always know that they will always be my priority, and they are always my...
First, she pointed out the obvious. Donald Trump has been playing the victim card for longer than most reality shows even last. He is always whining, she said, rolling her eyes so hard they almost left this dimension. Always complaining about how unfair the system is. Sir, you're the system. And then, there was that look on her face. You know, the one your aunt gives you when you say something so absurd. She has to pause and reconsider your entire existence. Yeah, that was the energy Jasmine brought to this roast session. Then, she hit him with the hard truth. Donald Trump has been the subject of more witch hunts than actual witches. He walks around acting like a victim of persecution, when in reality, he is simply facing consequences, something he is clearly unfamiliar with.
Thought that it was okay to just tell the truth. Instead, we're pushing conspiracy theories, and some of them are killing people. It's the same thing that we have coming out of Doge. It's the reason that people are dying. It's the reason that farmers are losing their farms, because we continue to peddle conspiracy theories. It is time for us to say, Mr. President, guess what? Russia invaded Ukraine. Can we at least agree on that one? Facts matter. Yo, this is literally potentially putting us into an international crisis. We may be heading towards the next world war because we have a president that wants to pal around with Putin and wants to do everything to make him feel good, including lying about who invaded who.
Oh, but she was not finished. She brought up Trump's never-ending legal troubles, calling him the only man who collects indictments like Pokemon cards. Got to catch them all. When someone in the audience chuckled, she doubled down. At this rate, he is going to need a punch card. Buy 9 felonies, get the 10th one free. Twitter, or X, if you let Elon ruin your vocabulary, erupted instantly. Memes started flooding in, featuring Trump's classic pout photoshopped onto baby bottles and pacifiers. One user wrote, "Jasmine Crockett just sent Trump to the shadow realm," while another simply posted a gif of Judge Judy rolling her eyes with the caption, "Cry more." Meanwhile, Trump, in true form, ran to his social media platform to unleash one of his signature all-caps rants. But at the end of the day, Jasmine Crockett did what needed to be done. She gathered Trump up like leftover and served.
Unfortunately, all of MAGA are beholden to their little leader, and they will do anything to get his stamp of approval.
On national television, Jasmine Crockett torched every lie, every excuse, and every absurd claim Trump has ever made. She did not just expose him, she put him on a metaphorical rotisserie, slow-cooked him, and served him up with a side of reality, garnished with a sprinkle of boy, sit down. Because let's be honest, if this is a witch hunt, then Trump has been caught flying around on a broomstick, cackling and tossing subpoenas over his shoulder like magic spells gone wrong. The man has more indictments than he has competent legal strategies. Actually, scratch that, he has more indictments than he has decent lawyers. And yet, he still waddles onto every stage like a cartoon villain, insisting he is the real victim. Jasmine? She basically laughed in his face, metaphorically, of course, before dropping the cold, hard truth. If Trump does not want to be on trial all the time, maybe, just maybe, he could try not committing crimes. A revolutionary concept, we know.
We've got to do better at education. People don't understand, but you will understand when those hospitals in rural America start closing down even more. You will understand when you don't have your Social Security. You will understand when your Medicaid, your Medicare goes away. You will understand as planes continue to fall out of the sky. Soon you will understand why it's important to maybe have somebody that isn't loud and ridiculous, and maybe Sleepy Joe is what we wanted because we...
Then, she moved on to those perfect phone calls. Oh yes, the ones so flawless they should be framed in the Smithsonian, right next to a napkin with Nixon's signature. Jasmine pointed out how Trump describes every shady, potentially illegal conversation he has ever had as perfect. At this point, it is hard not to wonder if his definition of perfect is just a felony that got recorded. She practically rolled her eyes so hard they almost reached Mar-a-Lago. Noting that normal people do not constantly have to explain why their phone calls are not crimes. Imagine calling your grandma and then holding a press conference saying, "That was a perfect call. The best call. No collusion. No quid pro quo. It is absurd." And then came the classified documents. Oh boy, Jasmine dragged Trump so hard, Mar-a-Lago's walls probably shook. She compared him to a toddler caught red-handed after scribbling all over the living room wall with crayons. Standing there, pretending. What crayon? I do not even know what crayons are. Trump was out here stuffing top-secret documents into his golf bags like they were extra ketchup packets from McDonald's. Meanwhile, he acts shocked when the feds keep showing up at his door, like a persistent Jehovah's Witness. Jasmine made it clear, if you do not want the FBI knocking, maybe do not turn your resort into the National Archives. Just a thought.
The question before us is, will a vindictive, vile villain violate voters' vision for a better America or not? I hear a reparations are back in style. We deserve better. We deserve a president who can be a bright light in a sea of darkness. One who will pull us forward, because we won't go back.
Of course, she tackled his delusional claims about winning the 2020 election. Jasmine did not just debunk them, she obliterated them, ran them over with a truck, and set the remains on fire for good measure. She compared Trump to that one guy who loses a game of Uno, flips the table, and then insists he actually won because he had a gut feeling. The reality check was swift and brutal. He lost. He lost harder than a toddler playing chess against Magnus Carlsen. Harder than a first-time gym bro trying to bench press 300 pounds. Harder than a middle schooler getting friend-zoned in front of the whole cafeteria. It was not even close. The scoreboard was not just lopsided, it was straight-up disrespectful. But, of course, in true Trump fashion, he doubled down, claimed the refs were blind. The system was rigged. And that if you just counted the right votes, meaning only the ones for him, he actually won in a landslide. Jasmine did not let that slide. She rolled the receipts, played the tape, and shut it down faster than a bootleg streaming site getting hit with a major lawsuit. Even his most die-hard supporters had to squint and pretend they saw something that was not there, like a mirage in the desert.
Season instead of cuffing season for these two. Listen, I think that Donald absolutely wants to cut the strings, but he really doesn't know how. I mean, this is a guy who has always decided that he wanted to surround himself with people that had money and or power. And right now, all he cares about is money. Listen, for those that felt like he was going to be their savior and be the guy that was looking out for the middle class, he has never been middle class. And so he's not looking out for them. We know that he is filling his cabinet, or at least attempting to fill his cabinet with other people that are very wealthy. He is looking out for his future and what that will look like. And so that's why it is difficult for him to cut the strings, because he needs Elon.
Instead of cuffing season, for these two, it is looking like cut the strings season. Jasmine made it clear Trump wants to cut ties, but he has no idea how. This is a man who has always surrounded himself with people who have money or power. And right now, money is all he cares about. For those who believed he was their savior, the one looking out for the middle class, let's be honest, he has never been middle class, and he is not looking out for them. He is stuffing his cabinet with wealthy elites, not to help the country, but to secure his own future. And that is exactly why he cannot cut ties, because he needs Elon. Then came the financial fraud situation. Oh boy, Trump swears up and down he is a billionaire, yet somehow his bank account looks shakier than his grip on reality. Jasmine shredded him over his fake wealth, pointing out that every time a judge asks him to pay up, he suddenly cannot find the money. 1 minute, he is rich enough to buy the moon. The next, he is out here acting like a broke college student, dodging his landlord. I'll get you next week. Bro, I swear. Just waiting for my inheritance check from my Nigerian prince cousin. She highlighted how his finances are like one of those Instagram influencers posing on a private jet, until you realize it is just a rental, and they are only there for the photo shoot.